Hi friends, welcome to Better English. Have you ever tried Comprehension Test? Was it easy for you? You may be wondering why I'm asking this question. Today I'm going to deal with how to take on the Comprehension Test. Well, what do you mean by comprehension? It is the ability to understand a piece of writing. Comprehension is one of the important skills you need to learn and develop. If you do good in comprehension, you have a fair chance to crack various competitive examinations for job or for admission for any higher studies. And why this test is very important for the examiner or the employer? Because the examiner or the employer are very much interested to know how far you can analyze and interpret a particular piece of writing and how well you can communicate your ideas, whatever you understand. So let's discuss what it is all about and how to deal with the comprehension test. In this video, I'm going to tell you about the strategy that you should adopt to improve your comprehension skills. I'm sure if you apply these strategies, you will surely get good numbers. So watch this video from end to end in order to understand and learn the strategy how to deal with comprehension test. First of all, I would like to tell you the benefits that you would get. It improves your personal as well as professional skills. It increases your overall enjoyment of reading. It boosts your knowledge. I've come across many students who complain that they read the passage but they don't understand. And suppose in your study, if you do not understand a particular subject or a particular topic, then you would start to lose interest in that topic. On the other hand, if you understand that particular passage or the topic, then you would be interested to know more and more about that particular topic. That is why the enjoyment of reading is associated with your understanding that particular passage or that particular topic. You won't be interested to read more or know more about a topic which you don't understand. And when I understand a particular topic, I would like to, search for more and more information related to that topic. So that is why it is said that comprehension helps you to increase your overall enjoyment of reading. See, you would remember one proverb: brevity is the soul of wit. That means you speak less, but you speak meaningfully. That helps you to shape your personal as well as your professional career. That is why the comprehension is related to your personal as well as professional life. The more you read, the more knowledge can you gain. And that's how the more knowledge you have, the more professional you become. So that is why comprehension builds you up personally as well as professionally. Hence, this comprehension actually boosts up your reading habit. And comprehension helps you in improving your written English. The more you read, the purer your language becomes. That's why the more you read, the more information you gain. And the more information you gain, the more knowledgeable you become. Because you have knowledge, you would be confident enough to speak and write boldly. That's why, comprehension gives you lots of benefits. Now, let us discuss the strategy. The strategy number one, you need to build up vocabulary. vocabulary plays a vital role in improving your comprehension skills. So there is no other way. The first principle or the first strategy that you need to adopt is to build up or improve your vocabulary. What is vocabulary, by the way? It is not simply knowing the meaning of a word. See, there are several things associated with the word which is not familiar with us. If I am to look up a word in the dictionary, the first thing I would like to see is the pronunciation of the word. How is the word correctly pronounced? An advanced English learner's dictionary gives us the phonetic transcription that is written just after the word that you look up in the dictionary. The first thing, you should know the proper pronunciation of the word that you're looking up. Secondly, I would like to know the nature of the word. For example, whether the word is a verb or is a noun or is an adjective or part of speech does the word belong to. And then if it is a noun, whether it is a countable noun or an uncountable noun. If it is a verb, then I would like to know whether it is a transitive verb or an intransitive verb. I must know it in order to use it meaningfully and flawlessly. And then you need to know the example sentences being used in the dictionary so that it will help you to understand the word in a clearer manner. And also, the same words can be used for different meanings. That's all we need to know about a word. I know many of you have only bilingual dictionary, English to Hindi or English to your vernacular. So that is an easy way to find the meaning of the word, but that's not enough. I would suggest you to have a good advanced English learner's dictionary, either Oxford or Cambridge or Longman, whatever. But you should have one advanced learner's dictionary. Now, how you can improve your vocabulary? Number one, you can take on the online vocabulary quiz in order to assess your level of vocabulary. Secondly, you can refer to a good advanced English learner's dictionary where you would find the meaning of the word, the pronunciation of the word, the usage of the word, the example sentence of the word, and the word class. All these things are very, very important for you to know about the word. And that's how you can make the best use of the word. So why vocabulary is very, very important in comprehension? Because it is related to reading and understanding. Unless you know a word, which is the basic unit of a passage word. What is a passage? Passage contains number of words, and when you know the number of words, you'll be able to understand the passage. That is why building up vocabulary is very, very vital. You would have seen the question paper, one passage of maybe 400 or 500 words, or in some cases you will get a passage of 1000 words. You've got to read the passage, and then you will find a few questions just below it, and you are required to answer to those questions. How can you answer those questions? You need to read the passage and understand it, analyze it, and then try to answer to those questions in your own words. What should you do then? First, read the passage quickly. Why you should read the passage quickly? Because you need to get an overall idea about the passage. You need to know what the passage is trying to talk about. So it is a kind of skimming through the passage. Reading the passage quickly, that will hardly take maybe a couple of minutes. And then you try to read the passage a little slowly in order to know the details of the passage. After having done getting the details of the passage, then you move quickly to the set of questions that is given just below the passage. Read the questions carefully and try to find the answers in the passage. And wherever you find the answer, you underline that portion of the passage quickly. After having underlined the portion of the passage, again you read the question and start answering. Remember one thing, never copy down the portion of the passage that you have underlined. That is for you to refer to only. You need to read that and understand it, analyze it, and try to interpret it and write the answer, whatever you think is, in your own words. Actually, the examiner tries to understand how far have you understood the passage and able to express your ideas while answering to that question. Another thing that I would like to tell you is you may be asked to define a word or a phrase that is used in that passage. So this is a very critical point. If you have the habit of looking up word in the dictionary, reading the definition of the word, then you would develop the nature and style how you should define a word. But you should be very careful. One word can be used for different meanings. You need to know, you need to understand, analyze the part where the word is used and try to define accordingly. Everything you write in your own words. Do not copy anything from the passage. Once you do it, you are going to lose marks. That's it. So friends, let's have a quick recap what we have discussed today. The first thing that we have understood is comprehension is a skill. It is the art of understanding, interpreting a particular passage or a piece of writing. And the second, comprehension skill helps you to improve your personal as well as professional career. Number 3, vocabulary plays an important role in your comprehension skill. Finally, I would like to say that you must practice. Practice makes a man or a woman perfect. There is no other way out. You start practicing what I taught you, the strategy. What are those strategies? Strategies: read quickly, read a little slowly, read the questions, and then underline the portion of the passage where you find the answer of the questions, and then try to think over it and answer to those questions in your own words. I hope you have understood how to deal with the comprehension skills. This will certainly help you. My best wishes are with you. Thanks so much for joining.